Hey everybody, it's Party Elite, and today we're taking a look at the Realms of Chaos in Total War Warhammer 3. I got a few videos from my time with the game on the channel already, and you can find them linked in the description down below, but today we're focusing exclusively on the various systems and mechanics that you can expect in and around the realms of the 4 Chaos Gods. There'll be some in-game map flyovers, an explanation of mechanics in each of the realms, and a look at some battlefields too so that you can see what these realms actually look like in-game in both types of gameplay. But just as a heads up, I will not be showing the survival battles that show up at the end of each of these realms today, because I do have a bit of a time limit with this early access showcasing, and those battles are each like 30 to 40 minutes long, right? So you won't be seeing them today, but you will be seeing them on this channel inevitably. Just as a heads up folks, if you want to keep some things as a surprise for yourself, I do have, as always, timestamps down below so you can skip around as you wish, but if you want to see it all, let's begin.
The realm of chaos, a place unbound. The constraints of the mortal dimensions have no effect here. Only the whims of the dark gods matter. Yet there are places where no ruinous power claims influence. In the Forge of Souls, Be'lakor lurks, and Ursun dies. Until we have the 4 Demon Prince souls, it will remain out of reach.
The Rifts. So first things first, it's important to know that you can't actually get to the Realm of Chaos by traditional means. You have to wait until rifts open up across the traversable world, allowing you to teleport into the Realm of Chaos and then back out again. Early on in the campaign, and then periodically afterwards, these rifts will open up across the world for a handful of turns, spreading corruption and allowing demonic armies to enter the mortal realm and harass you and your counterparts. This is a good reason to go to the rifts and close them when you're not using them, and you can bet that the AI will work to that end from time to time too. Each rift belongs to a specific god, and that determines who might come through and what kind of corruption spreads from the rift, but it doesn't limit your own use of the rift to travel freely into any of the god's domains. As the rifts open, keep in mind that the AI will aggressively chase after the objectives available on the other side of the rifts, the souls of various demon princes, one for each of the Chaos Gods, obtained through the survival battles that Creative Assembly has showcased a few times now, battles that you can actually auto-resolve if you don't feel like fighting the same, again, 30 to 40 or so minute battles every time you play a campaign. The game even gives you a heads up as to your competition that's already in the realm when you go to choose where you're planning on going yourself. Each time the rifts open, only one faction will be able to get 1 soul each. So, if somebody beats you to the realm of Slaanesh and acquires the soul of the Demon Prince there, you can no longer attempt the same until the rifts close and open again at a later time. Fortunately, if you find yourself in the same realm as one such opponent, you can always engage them in battle to prevent their success, unless of course they're well out of your reach, or you can opt to just hop over to a different realm instead. Keep in mind that attacking a faction in the Realm of Chaos still counts as a regular attack, as in you're potentially going to have to declare a fresh war if you're feeling desperate. Battles will also happen with armies that call the realms home too, and whether you're fighting these local armies or other armies from the mortal realms, you'll see storms of magic battles everywhere except for in Khorne's realm, and the survival battles and quest battles in any of the Realms of Chaos. Storm of Magic battles being the ones where the winds of magic are infinite and where the winds themselves keep changing, giving you access to more spells and unit buffs that may or may not help you, constantly changing over time. But how do you use the rifts to get here in the first place? Well, it's as simple as walking into them. Only your faction leader can use these rifts to travel to other rifts, whether you've seen the land that they're on top of or not. So the rifts have uses beyond simply furthering the game's plot. You can further your own plots too, surprising your enemies by sending armies to unexpected areas through the rifts. Back on topic though, when your faction leader arrives at any of the realms, you'll be able to traverse them mostly as normal, able to use all of your stances, including encamp stance for when you need reinforcements, but you won't be able to use the Tzeentch teleportation. I imagine you won't be able to use any other such stances that help you skip past impassable terrain either, and that makes sense since most of the realms feature traversal as a key part of the puzzle. You won't want to spend too much time using global recruitment or wandering around either, as your lord will accumulate negative traits over time as they stay in each of the Chaos God's realms longer and longer, the traits being thematically associated to the god in question. So yes, you'll want to move quickly, but oh boy are there some serious temptations from time to time. The Blood God's Domain.
The Blood God's Domain. Upon its blood-strewn ground, armies of demons clash in gladiatorial contests of unending slaughter. Battle through this cauldron of war and reach the Brass Citadel. There you will find the Gatekeeper, the favored demon prince of Khorne. Kill him to claim his soul.
You looked at me with eyes of hatred and rage, and now the fear is mine.
Among the easiest to understand is Khorne's realm, a land of slaughter and bloodshed where blood gushes out of skulls and flows like rivers with or without any DLC. Upon arriving at Khorne's realm, you'll immediately notice a new bar above your lord's army. This bar needs to be filled through slaughter. Battle after battle against a great variety of enemy types will fill this bar, and only then will you be able to engage the Demon Prince in Khorne's realm and claim their soul. This is also the easiest realm in which to intercept your opponents if need be. You can see how close they are to filling their bars, and if push comes to shove, you can opt to declare a fresh war to send them to the back of the line. Consequences be damned. Khorne's realm does have an interesting extra element though, and that's in the shape of his gifts. Every god provides gifts of some sort or another, but Khorne's are all weapons that can be assigned to your various characters. Your Demon Prince, should you be playing as the Demons of Chaos, won't be able to equip any such weapons, but all other heroes, lords, and even faction leaders absolutely can. You won't be able to salvage these gifts or fuse them either, mind you, they're as rare as they come, and there is a catch. For one, these weapons can sometimes have effects that you don't want, like spreading corruption. For two, when you next enter any other god's realm, Khorne will take those weapons right back. So these boons are temporary. If you're planning on collecting some for use each time the rifts open, you can consider grabbing as many souls as possible first, and then going to Khorne's realm last to try and grab a weapon or two before the rifts close. That way you'll have those weapons until the rifts next open, and then you'll have to give them up should you travel to a different realm. But that's all there is to Khorne's realm. Kill, maim, burn, fill the bar, and then kill some more. The Land of the Plague Lord.
The Land of the Plague Lord. Be cautious where you step in this putrid domain. Nurgle's realm is a garden of bloated flora and fauna, desperate to spread their infected spores. And at its center lies the mansion of the Plague Lord, the great sagging edifice where Nurgle himself works to concoct his greatest poxes. Guarding the mansion's gates is the Gardener, the favored demon prince of Nurgle. Destroy him to claim his soul.
I spied the mensch and the one that lived within, and I decay, and I with.
This one's relatively simple too in concept, but it can be a bit more challenging to execute if you're not patient, or if you're really bad at battles. Any time spent in Nurgle's realm causes attrition to all your forces, though you can adopt a camp stance and move at 50% speed to stop that attrition and even get some replenishment after battles to overcome the potentially overwhelming rate of losses, and you can even use global recruitment if needed. If you're playing as Khorne or the Demon Prince, you can rely on a high level of bloodletting to reduce the global recruitment timers, and that can really come in handy in Nurgle's realm if you do need to recruit new units, because it'll always be global recruitment, of course. You don't consider any of this stuff local. The other option to approaching Nurgle's realm is the exact opposite. Use the forced march stance to move as quickly as possible as you first seek out the point of interest that'll give you immunity to the diseases of the realm, and then rush over to tackle the Demon Prince. Trouble with that is that there are armies of Nurgle that will need to be dealt with, and if you're ill-prepared, you'll find yourself in a decent bit of trouble. There are additional points of interest where you can collect gifts from Nurgle too, but they're relatively simple and mostly have to do with replenishing your army back to full strength, so they might be simple, but they are very useful given the context. Should you arrive here alongside other challengers, you should be able to relatively easily cut them off and down, keeping the hunt alive for yourself. The Dark Prince's Realm.
The Dark Prince's Realm. Temptation, lust, and gluttony abound in this realm of desire. Confronting Slaanesh's champion will not be easy, for they are found within the 6 circles of seduction. As you journey inward, know that you will be lured by temptations beyond any your tepid imagination could conjure. In the center lies the Palace of Slaanesh, a monument to perpetual lust, excess, and debauchery.
I saw the hunger rinsing of chaos, and he was nourished by your cravings.
Every soul will be sacrificed.
Straight out of Dante's Inferno, Slaanesh's realm is represented as multiple concentric circles descending down towards a central point where you can finally battle the Demon Prince. You can travel around the rings to engage with the various Slaaneshi armies or to chase down your competition, but I found that the armies of the realm don't necessarily chase or engage you unless you get too close. This is one of the harder realms in which to cut your opposition off, as once they get ahead of you, if they keep using their forced march stance, they can keep moving through the rings faster than you. If you're lucky, you arrived at a clearer path, while they'll have to deal with some enemy armies en route, allowing you to either overtake them or wipe them out. Fortunately, even if you've fallen too far behind, there's something to be gained in Slaanesh's realm, as each time you use a portal to enter the next level down, you'll be offered gifts. These foul attempts at seduction are actually not so foul. There's often a lot of money involved, and typically some really significant buffs or benefits besides. And unlike Khorne, who takes his ball and goes home when you decide to visit another realm, it's not like Slaanesh is some Warhammer banking guild who's loaning you the money and is going to charge interest. These gifts can sometimes be genuinely tempting, and there was one time that I almost gave up a race to the bottom because some of the gifts were just way too valuable. You'll be happy to know I chose bankruptcy instead and got the damn soul after having to fight my competition on the way down. Slaanesh's realm is a very interesting one. It's very constrained, like being wrapped in a tentacle, and you spend a bunch of time going down. I see what they did there. But jokes aside, it's one of the more interesting realms in its layouts, its restrictions, and in its offerings. The Realm of the Sorcerer.
The Realm of the Sorcerer. Trust not your senses, for the intricate magics of the great sorcerer reshape reality around you. Try to stay on the right path as you fight through many-hued islands to stand triumphant before the impossible fortress. There, Tzeentch's favored demon prince, the Librarian, stands sentinel. Slay him to claim his soul.
speaks to lies for every truth.
Knowledge is no substitute for might.
This one's a tricky one, as you can imagine, since Tzeentch is known for his trickery, and that's on full display here. The realm of Tzeentch is traversed through portals, and you never really know where these portals lead unless you arrive at these points of interest to reveal a sigil above one of the portals, or defeat the local armies in battle and opt to have a sigil revealed. As you reveal sigils, you'll eventually find which portals lead to each other, and you'll be able to make your way with certainty to the center where your battle with the Demon Prince awaits. This setup makes catching up to an enemy army extremely difficult. If they know where they're going and you don't, you're in trouble. Heck, even if they don't know where they're going, you might have a hard time catching up since each teleportation ends your movement for the turn, meaning even if you do arrive at the same segment as your enemy, they can just flutter away if they want to just get away from you when their turn comes around. Don't enter Tzeentch's realm if you're late to arrive to a rift. At least that's my 2 cents. If you're a turn behind, that's fine. 2 turns behind, okay. But if somebody else has been there for 3 or 4 turns, it's probably too late, and you're probably wasting your time unless you get very lucky. His gifts aren't all that special either, to be honest, so just try and get here early, find the matching sigils, and then hop your way over to the finish line as quickly as possible. The Chaos Realms are a very fun holiday destination for your legendary lords to collect memorabilia in the form of mental trauma, anguish, and occasionally a lot of money and some weapons, depending on where you go. There are some curiosities in each realm, and there's reason to go to at least some of them even when not chasing the main game-given objectives, which I think is a nice and necessary touch. Rifts themselves introduce an interesting layer to traversal, being able to pop out the other end and surprise an unsuspecting enemy is great, and it similarly has defensive and scouting purposes as well. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to let me know down below with a like and a comment, and I'd be curious to hear your opinions on the mechanics you've heard about today. Do you think they've gone big enough? Do you wish they would have been bigger? These are the Chaos Gods we're talking about, and there's always room for more, so I'm just curious about opinions out there. I know I have mine, but they'll have to wait until my review, which will be coming out closer to the release of the game. For more Total War content, don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel, and as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly, and of course, a big ol' thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.